trust the process to keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have it if you dream it. Just be brave and you'll achieve it all. It all. I wanna know if you really want it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear. I wanna know if you really need it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear.
Hi, everybody. Hello. All right, gang, let's get started. Good evening, folks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, brothers and sisters. All right. Excuse me here. Broadcasting from Orlando, Florida. Yes, the sunny South escaped the Buffalo, New York weather. I'm finding it's pretty warm over there, so what the heck, Life's like that on the farm. You escape and then it gets warm. But anyway, that's not really warm. Maybe 40s or something. Well, that's pretty warm for us, let me tell you. Anyway, you're there, we're here, and I think we're all set to go. I'm just queuing everything up. Okay, and let's hit the button. Here we go. All right, we are good to go here, folks. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of DayTradeSPY.com's Weekend Review. Intro to Trading. My name is Hugh. Sunday, March the 8th, 2026. And yeah, I see that questions box already. The time change kind of messed a few people up, right? And I don't know. We'll see what happens. A lot of people still joining us here, folks. We're going to give another minute or so to come online here. A couple things. Please use the questions box. You'll find the little icon on your Zoom dashboard. Click on that. I'm the only one that sees that, so go ahead and say whatever you want. Also, if you find that I speak a little bit too fast, let me know in the questions box. I'll slow down. Please understand I've been doing this for many years, and of course, it just comes naturally. I get so excited about what's going on here, right? I'm very excited, so I tend to speak fast. But and also, if you're new to trading, let me know that too in the questions box. Rest assured that if you do hear of certain terminology or whatever that you don't understand, don't worry about it right now. This is not going to be I'm not going to be teaching you how to trade stock options right now, right? That's not the whole point. The point of this webinar is to tell you how you will learn how to be a successful day trader, trading options on the S&P 500 SPY, right? Excuse me. So been talking all day, so my voice is a little hoarse. But anyway, yeah, tell us. Okay, okay. All right, I got to get the disclaimer up here for those, especially if you are new on. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds here to read this, and I'll be right back. All right, just taking a sip of my tea. Hot peppermint tea. Folks, you're alone responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. I think you know that. All right. So here's what we're going to talk about tonight. Going to take a look at last week, looking at the upcoming week, give you a little 2-minute tutorial, answer your questions. Got a little contest for you too, right? So it's not a skill testing contest, nothing like that at all. It's just going to be very random. You're going to take a number randomly from 1 to 100, and whoever gets closest to it wins the free ebook, Triumphs and Tragedies. Okay, very simple. All right, yeah, I love that picture. I love that picture. Last time I was down on Wall Street, they had this barricade set up right here, right in front of this thing. Very sophisticated. You had to go through security like you wouldn't believe. That was like Fort Knox. Anyway, who am I? Why listen to me? Who am I? Who do I think I am anyway? Well, I'll tell you. I'm a nobody. As far as the stock market is concerned, I'm a nobody, but I spent my early years in the trenches. Deep, deep, deep. I don't even know when I started trading, to be honest with you. Just kind of grew on me, and I guess my first real recollection was back in 2004 or 2005. I can't remember when a buddy of mine was telling me about, excuse me, Exxon options on Exxon. Oh, the earnings are going to be $6,300 a share. Anyway, long story short, I bought a bunch of options on Hershey because I knew Hershey goes up for 2 weeks every year around February the 6th. At least it did back then. Excuse me. And I invested about $5,000 in a Hershey, and then I rolled it over into Exxon options based on what my friend recommended. And long story short, in about 3 weeks, I made about $250,000. So the funny thing is, my friend did a similar trade, and he actually made more money. He made more money than me, but he stayed with it. Sorry, clear my throat. He actually made more money, but instead of cashing out, he continued to ride it up. I think he made about 270, $280,000, but then the market turned on him and it went down. And he felt that my buddy Dave, but he felt that, it's going to come back up. It's going to come back up. I said, Dave, take the money, what you got left. Take the money and run. I'm not an expert here, but I know I cashed out, did very well, but he didn't. He stayed, and you know what? He wrote it all the way back down too. And now he made about 15,000, which is still very good, but not the money that he actually had in his hand. Call it greed, fear, ego, whatever it is, FOMO, YOLO, whatever it is. But anyway, it's funny because we never talked about it since, although I did visit him a couple of times in the hospital for depression. So I'm sure that had something to do with it. Anyway, I haven't spoken to Dave in a very, very long time. Hope he's doing well. Um, deep in the trenches trading, eventually I discovered that, it's that slow race that wins the race. The slow, the turtle and hare, the turtle wins the race because he's just steady at it, steady at it, steady at it, we like to trade like a hare, right? Like rabbit, get those jump starts, get in there, make a lot of money, and then sit on our laurels, and then, excuse me, and trade again, make some money, lose money. Anyway, it's that slow, consistent, steady, modest gains that actually is what builds your wealth. That's what builds your. That's what I discovered anyway. Now, I'm not saying my strategies work for everybody. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but they certainly work for me. People took notice, and then they coerced me into showing them what I'm doing. So I had to put up a website. That was back in 2010. So I've been trading publicly now since 2010. It was sort of what our 16th year here. And actually, that'll take us to May. In May will be 16 years that we have done this, and then we start our 17th year, fun-loving trading options on SPY. So I'm looking for short-term breakout trades, all right? And I love to teach other people how to trade. People often ask me, why do I bother trading? I can just make a lot of money trading. And that is true. I don't have to do this. So I don't really want to, you know, I don't have to do this. But people say to me, "Oh, please don't quit. Please don't quit. Where would I be if you quit?" This kind of stuff. So actually, I really love to teach other people how to trade. That's really where I get my jollies. Is that a word I used to use a long time ago? I remember that, jollies. Where do you get your jollies? Anyway, we have people been on with us here for a very long time. Hope you're one of them. And if you are new, welcome. All right. That's what we do. And we love to interact with people and teach people from nothing to making money. All right. Just a few people online. Want to welcome Annie, Bill, Bob, Brett, Dan, Derek, Dave. Let me see. Doug, Ed, Gottfried, Edward, Horst, Angie, James, Jim, James, John, Jeff, Kent, Khaled. I hope I pronounced that right. Mark. Well, I'm just, Mitzi, Phil, Reggie, Rich, Rob, Max, Sally, Steve, Timothy, Walter, William. I'm just naming just a few, just kind of scanning the thing. We have actually a lot of people online. Now, so what happened? I've been doing this for a long time, and then, excuse me, in 2022, I guess we got the attention of Eagle Financial Products, division of Salem Communications. Salem, big company, big NASDAQ company. I think they own hundreds, I don't know, over 100 radio stations and a bunch of other stuff. So anyway, Eagle is a subsidiary of Salem, and Salem bought us out. And then they hired me back. Okay. Okay, no problem there. And they brought in John Johnson. He was retired um, Eagle financial advisor guru. Had a newsletter, I believe, and some other stuff, and brought him on as one of my as my partner in the trading room. All right, he's my cohort, and he's a great guy, very exciting. He was actually used to be he's a litigation lawyer, still is, but he doesn't practice law. What he does, he practices trading. Actually, he doesn't even practice it. He does it. All right, he does trading. Loves to teach other people. He's highly acclaimed in industry publications, and he uses highly effective tools to determine his trades. His philosophy is very simple, all right, very similar to mine. Take what the market gives you. All right, and just like me, he loves to teach other people how to trade. Now, the interesting thing is this. I have my set of indicators that I use, and John has his set of indicators that he uses. So if I say, it looks like the market's going to go down now, and he says, yeah, I see that, and I think it's going to go down too, based on his indicators. I say that based on mine. And our motto together is when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. And nothing is truer than that, which I believe is the secret to our success. All right, that's the secret to our success. We come to the same conclusion from different angles. All right, so it's not just my study or just his study, but when the studies coincide, like okay, there's something there, right? There's something definitely there, and just run it down. Now, there's a lot of components to trading. Right? It's not just a setup, but you have to know which options to trade. You have to know, just because you have a setup, does that mean it's a good trade? Not necessarily, right? You have to have room to grow. You have to have room to grow into. If you don't have that, let's say it goes to the downside, you break support, you get into the trade, perfect setup, but you find support, only maybe 15, 18, even 20 cents under that level where if catches support goes back up. Well, guess what? The setup was there, but the support brought it back up, and therefore it's really not a good trade, right? Anyway, you have to know when to get out. Getting in is one thing, getting out is another, and that's what we teach. So that's what we do. We teach you all of that wonderful stuff, and we thoroughly enjoy what we do. People often ask us, why do you bother trading and when you can just trade? And that is the reason. We just love to see the results. Excuse me. Every day in the trading room, we have the accolades come in, say, oh, I made X dollars. I made X percent. Very happy. Done for the day. 3 trades. Made, $1,500. I'm done for the day. That kind of thing. So anyway, folks, just a quick announcement here. Spy on the Market. This is our uh, weekly newsletter. E-newsletter goes into your inbox every Thursday, and it's free. Excuse me. Right, very light, relevant, entertaining even. Might take you 2.5, 3 minutes to read it. Very topical. We talk about a lot of different things. As a matter of fact, I think I've written about 125 of these things since I started a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now. All you have to do to subscribe is go to our website, www.daytradespy.com. Daytradespy.com. When the little pop-up comes up, just leave us your email address, and you'll get the newsletter. All right, very simple. Now, if you don't want to subscribe, but you still want to read the newsletters, you can still access them by just going to our website, and up in the top left corner, you will see the link to Spy in the Market newsletter. So I click on that, and so I got to get some water here. That's what I really need. Hold on a second here, folks. Mm, feels good in my throat here. Um, so you can find all the old newsletters on that up in the top left corner of the website, right? Just click on that. I think there's a drop down menu. You can go get all the old issues. So daytradespy.com, that's what we are, and I'm sure you've all sort of seen that. So this week's topic is going to be the war in Iran, its effect on the stock market. The war in Iran, its effect on the stock market. That is this week's topic. By the way, it lands in your inbox every Thursday. Every Thursday, okay? All right, let's take a look at last week. What happened? Talk about a tumultuous, insane move My goodness, from 660, say 670, we had like a 18, 19 point move and up and down, up and down. This is just unbelievable how it goes. This just expands. By the way, I have no video tonight because I don't have a camera here. All right, I didn't bring a camera, and so I'm just showing screenshots of myself with my beautiful Bernese Mountain Dog Lucy, who passed away just over a year ago. We miss her every day dearly, the love of our lives. Anyway, this is what happened, folks. A brief summary of what happened last week here. On Monday, SPY inched up on a favorable PMI report, and we see how this moved up pretty good here. We came down actually in the pre-market Sunday night. We bottomed out down around 670, I want to say 674-ish. Ran up, came down to a double bottom, and we had our indicators telling us that it's probably going to bounce up. So we use a bunch of different indicators, chart patterns, ABCD patterns, different things like that. But our move suggested that we're going to see a bounce back up, and we did. We came back up from around 675 all the way back up to us at about 688, about a 13-point move. And some technical support at 676 actually brought it back up. Different story on Tuesday. The war in Iran surged oil prices with significant headwinds in the Middle East. SPY tanked. No pun intended there. Yeah, actually, it was a pun intended. It was funny, right? Slippery slope, right? It was a greasy, right? And anyway, the market came right down to 669.66. That was on Tuesday. On Wednesday, another recovery. SPY rebounded after a major sell-off in upbeat services PMI report. On Thursday, oil was back in the news, hitting its highest settlement since 2024 to over $81 a barrel. I think it went even higher after that. SPY dropped back down to that 676 level. And on Friday, we dropped even further down to, oh my gosh, we lost 1.3%. That was the worst week in nearly a year on stagflation worries as oil settled north of $90 a barrel, the biggest weekly rise on record. Okay. Looking at the seasonal charts, folks, that blue line up there, that is where SPY is now. The red line is a composite of the last 5 years closing price on the daily charts. And if you take a look at this closely, if you zero in, sorry, historically, SPY dropped about 4 points over last week, and it stayed relatively flat the following week and had some ups and downs, but came kind of down a little bit, then it came up, essentially pretty flat here in the week coming up from Friday, just a couple days ago to next Friday. All right. Just to give you an idea as to what you might expect SPY to do in the next couple of weeks if we follow the same path as we had for the last 5 years. All right. So what happened last week? It was the perfect storm in the market. Spike in oil due to the Iranian war and weak payrolls added fear. So in other words, the spike in oil, that would be inflationary, that would put a lot of upward pressure on interest rates, which the market doesn't like, so you push to the downside. But a weak payrolls uh, influences the Feds to push interest rates down to spur on economic growth. So not a lot happened. There's a lot of back and forth, but essentially they were kind of flat in their sentiment there. Markets pulled back on this stagflation mix, especially with uncertainty again over the Fed's willingness to ease policy. I think it's around a 97% chance they're not going to lower interest rates at their next meeting coming up later this month. About a maybe 2.5% chance they're going to drop it by 25 basis points. Personally, I don't think they're going to drop it. That's my point. That's my opinion. That's all that is. That I think $1.75 will buy a coffee at Dunkin'. I don't know. But anyway, as a result, sell-offs across bonds and equities. All right, that was part of a broad risk-off move that the market had. Regardless, if you look back a year from now, we're still about 17% higher over last year, only 3% off our all-time highs on the S&P 500. So don't worry too much about it, right? Further volatility in coming days and weeks as conflict in the Middle East unfolds. Seems like every day in the news there's something else going on. I haven't checked it much today, but I guess they're bombing away, right? Now, historically, geopolitical crises on markets can be short-lived, and that provides us with opportunities. Opportunities. All right. Here's what happened on the market. The S&P was down 2%. Year to date, we're down 1.5%. We're down 1.5%. And hmm, maybe it's not all that bad. The Dow Jones is down 1.2%. If you're holding any NASDAQ, that's down 3.7% year to date. Of course, the NASDAQ, that has the heavyweights. All the big boys are there, the tech companies, and they're going to be the first to be hit with any any damage to their stocks. And for the same reason, the first ones to move forward as well. So you'll see a lot more volatility on the Nasdaq than you do on SPY. Excuse me. Let's take a quick poll here, just to get a little interaction. I just want your opinion. How long do you think this war is going to last? Anyway, kind of came out of, I was going to say it came out of nowhere, but it really didn't. In fact, in the newsletter, I talk about that this war started, I believe, in 1978 or something, when Iranians took some Americans hostage. I think it lasted for something like 444 days, and it was kind of crazy. And I think back in the day, President Carter should have actually ended this. He didn't. It rolled into the Bushes. It rolled into Clinton. It rolled into, oh my gosh, who else do we have? Obama. Uh, did I miss any? What were the presidents since then? There's a bunch of presidents since then. And what happened was we gave money to Iran. We gave money, we gave technology, we gave weapons, and now they're using them against us. Not really cool. Let me see here. Who else do we presidents since 1978? Okay, I'm just curious here. We had, excuse me, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan. Bush, Clinton, Bush Jr., Obama, Trump, Biden. It's Biden's fault. Everything is Biden's fault. And then now Trump is coming back. He says, you know what? This is now very dangerous. The uranium, they're getting nuclear arms, and these people are kind of crazy over there. They wouldn't hesitate using this if they had half the chance at aiming it at the U.S. Trump said he really has no choice but to go in there and disarm them. But anyway, started I guess what, about a week ago or something, and it continues on. So, what is your opinion, folks? How long is this thing going to go on for? Just curious to know what you think. Oh my gosh. Okay. C B B B B D B B C 4 weeks. C B. Okay. I think it's somewhere between some weeks and some months. A lot of bees. It's very split between mostly between weeks and months. Just looking here, I've got a few D's and you know what, even a few A's. Well, I'm kind of hoping the A's have it. I mean, it would be nice to get this over and done with and say, okay, that's it. Now we're going to give Iran back to the Iranians to figure out. But I saw something. Oh my gosh, a very so it was an analysis, a very complex system they have with their leadership. And it kind of dates back that they need a supreme leader being a descendant of Muhammad. And so I don't know how this is going to work, but hopefully it'll be over sooner rather than later. So anyway, let's move it along, folks. I don't want to bore you with the poll anymore. It was just a quick poll to see what you think. Coming up, what do we have? Okay, what do we have? No low news day on Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday, a consumer price index. Thursday, we have unemployment claims, along with building permits and housing starts. And then on Friday, a lot of stuff coming up Friday. Hmm. Personal consumption expenditures. That is the that is the inflationary indicator that the Feds use primarily, the PCE, personal consumption expenditure, to determine, excuse me, whether they should raise rates, lower them, keep them the same. You also have gross domestic product, durable goods orders, JOLTS, job openings, University of Michigan consumer sentiment, and also inflation expectations. That's all coming up on Friday. Excuse me. A lot of news on Friday. Volatility expected to be low Monday and Tuesday and high the rest of the week. All right, high the rest of the week. All right, so excuse me. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with me here. I just had supper a little while ago, and I since maybe it's still not digested properly. So it takes a while to digest food. And anyway, also expect elevated volatility whenever President Trump speaks. And I suspect he will be speaking. I mean, I don't have anything on the agenda right now, but before I speak too soon, I am going to check that one last time just to see if he is at all scheduled to speak this week. Okay. Now, of course, they add these scheduled items in as they happen, and I see nothing that Trump is scheduled to speak. Now, admittedly, they will often put that up there the same day, oftentimes just very very shortly before he is scheduled to speak. So a good schedule to watch is forexfactory.com. Forex Factory, FOREXFACTORY.com. Free, it's a free site. Just go to that and check out the calendar, and you'll see the news items as they come up, right? But do watch for that because whenever Trump speaks, volatility does tend to bounce around and increase, and you'll see prices going up and down. So, all right, let's take a look and see what else we can talk about here. 2-minute tutorial. Okay, cutting losses early. Cutting losses early. Tutorial on this. So, and this is what I did. And those people in the inner circle. You got my report yesterday, I think it was. So okay, so so I was away Friday. I did the Thursday session, and I was away Friday. John was away Thursday, and I believe he's going to be away tomorrow. We actually had to come down to Florida to Boynton Beach to do a film shoot. And John's plane was scheduled to go out today, but due to weather, excuse me, got held up, and I think he's heading back tomorrow. But here's the thing about cutting losses early. Um, Generally, if I have time, I don't like to cut losses early. I like to hold on a little bit. All right. But I will admit that I was in a trade from Thursday that just dropped so much. Um, and one of the criteria I use to cut losses early is, and I've done studies on this years ago. I did a study, and I'm trying to think of the numbers. It was uh, I want to say maybe 1 out of 63 or 65 times when the market was underwater 50%, did it come back on its own. I just have a rule now that when I drop 50%, that's one of the things. Then I'm looking at getting out of it. We'll just cut losses. May or may not come up, but I don't like to hold on and any longer than that. So the key is to cut losses at that point here, folks. Okay. Now, if you worked up your account in the past, then this is really key, all right? And those people in our trading room and excuse me, the people that have been with us for a while who know how to do this, they know that if they had made money in the past, they can do it again. And I think this is really important. So if you cut your, let's say, so you're in a trade, you cut your loss at 50%, like, okay, this thing's gone south. This is an outlier trade. Something has gone on. What's the news? Where are we headed? Are we going down more? Looking at calls, obviously here. It's just best to not be in a trade wishing I was, than to be in a trade wishing I wasn't. This is what I did. And if I did, earn a good, income from it in the past, good gains in the past, I can do it again. You have that confidence. So on the money you recover from dumping your holdings, you can do it again, right? So yes, you may have had a loss, but take the money that you have left because it's not what you lost as important as what you have left. If you have still some pretty good base that you can work with, you can inch it back up very carefully, inch it back up a little at a time, like building a house with bricks, right? So I think this is really important. And admittedly, this is what I done um, on um, on the trade that I had Thursday. I actually took a bad loss on that one. I didn't like doing it, but now, admittedly, too, it might be okay. Could be okay. I just didn't want to watch this anymore, and I kind of sort of lost my confidence in it. Watch your options, folks. When volatility is high, aim for smaller gains multiple times. This is why I like to scalp, right? Trade focused, tight positions, small number of contracts, trade small, trade often. Be mechanically disciplined to exit. All right. Before you place the trade, have, even if in your mind, your exits. When you make whatever profit, however you're looking to exit the trade, whether it goes into a certain resistance level or whatever, or if it drops to a certain point, better to just take the loss. Whatever you got left, that's what you're going to trade. Make sure you also buy time. Try to avoid overnight holds when we're in crazy times, which is what we're in. Try to avoid those overnight holds. I know, I sometimes advocate, just holding overnight. That's kind of in more normal market conditions. But these days with the war going on, um, anything goes. Anything goes. And that goes for both calls and puts. Calls, which is if you expect the market to go up, you buy call options, right? If you expect the market to go down, you buy put options. But even on the put side, I'm not so willing to hold overnight because anything can happen that suddenly um, Strait of Hormuz, they open it up, a lot of protection there, oil starts flowing, and the volatility drops a little bit. You'll see the stock markets just push right up, and that may well happen in the next 2, 3 days. That's just me. I don't know anything you don't, but in fact, maybe even less. But once that happens, you can see the market shooting back up again, right? Why? Because oil is flowing, price of oil comes down, energy comes down, markets are booming, that kind of stuff. But there's just a lot of volatility and geopolitical situations right now. Had some trades this week. We had a very good week. We had seven wins on Monday, six on Tuesday and Wednesday. 4 wins, 2 losses on Thursday, 3 wins on Friday, which is what John did. The 2 losses on Thursday, I believe one was we set up, I think it was our OMG out of the morning gate trade. Now, I don't remember what it was. I apologize for that. I should have known that, but um, whatever reason, I think that we held that too long, and I think that one sold at the end of the day. Not sure. Okay, so technically, we are supposed to make our profit or sell at the end of the day. That's what the Eagle people want us to do. So that registered a loss. Now, quite possibly, had you held onto that into the next day, it would have made money. Okay. Sometimes I do advocate holding on, but for whatever reason, anyway, we took a loss on that one, and also the loss that I had done, and I made a big mistake on that one. And here's the thing, all right? You're going to have losses. So, and I don't want to say it's okay to have losses. Obviously, we don't want to have any losses, but you're going to have some losses, all right? But what's not okay is if you lose the lesson. I've been doing this a long time, and I've learned all the lessons many times over, but sometimes the market has a way of reinforcing the lessons into me, right? And the lesson here was this. I knew, okay, I had some pretty good wins on Thursday. I think I had the 4 wins. I had the 4 wins. And then I jumped back into the trade knowing that I was not going to be able to watch the markets all day. I had a plane to catch. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking straight. I thought, oh, I'll grab another one here. Maybe I was just a little more relaxed than what I should have been. Maybe a little overconfident, whatever. I got into the trade and I ended up selling for a loss. I think I took about a 50% loss or something, maybe a little more, 52% or I don't know what it was, something. But anyway, that's the lesson reinforced there. If you know that you're not going to have access to the markets, not going to be able to watch the markets and manage your positions in any meaningful way, Best to not be in a trade wishing you were than to be in a trade wishing you weren't. People say I have all these models. They they tease me, they always tease me. I like to say my favorite motto is we're not happy until you're not happy. That's a little joke, a little humor. Okay, on a Sunday night. But no, we have a lot of sayings. If you have time, you should be fine. A dime at a time is just fine. It's not where the market is, but where it's going that's important. And I like the one too. I'd rather not be in a trade wishing I was than to be in a trade wishing I wasn't. I did not follow my own advice, so therefore I chalked up a loss. But we did have, what's this? Oh my gosh, how many wins here? 14, 14, 26, 26 wins, 2 losses. Not bad. Folks, I'm going to tell you here, we're out. So what we're doing here, we got this thing called the 2026 goal. This is where we track all the trades in the trading room and the ones that we narrate, right? And we record them as if we are only buying 5 contracts per trade. Okay. This is not all the trades that I do personally. I generally trade more than 5 contracts, and sometimes, I trade outside of the trading room as well. So I do actually very, very well at this. But if you were in the trading room, you hear our narration, and you only trade 5 contracts per trade. All right, all trading room trades are included. This is what it would look like year to date, March the 6th. We would have, including our losses, which there's that big one there, $2,080 the other day. Still above the above board by $6,900. Okay, if you only traded 5 contracts, you still would have $6,910 on your spreadsheet, right? So I don't know what the uh, I don't know how that would extrapolate. Probably close to 45, $50,000 for the year. I'm guessing here. Not really sure. All right, you can talk about logging here as well. I talked about this with somebody the other day, and just wanted to say, I said, okay, I'll talk a little bit about this Sunday night. Folks, there's a lot of power in logging your trades. I hope you log them. I hope you create a spreadsheet. Establish a trading plan spreadsheet, a trading plan spreadsheet. This is where you write it out, your plan, how you plan on getting from here to, say, a $50,000 gain at the end of the year. Okay. That's really not that hard to do. If you say start with $5,000, it's very easy. You can, write in the numbers. You can maybe start with maybe say making $100 or $150 profit a day, ramping it up to $200 and later on maybe up to $300 a day. It's actually not hard to do at all without breaking a sweat. But if you don't have a roadmap to where you're going, how do you know where you're going to go? I mean, think about that for a second. You need a roadmap to where you're going to go, right? If you don't have that, how do you know where you're going to go? So if you have a trading plan and a log, right, you can see where you are, where you're going, what you need to get there. Are you ahead of the game? Are you behind the game? And customize it to suit your needs. It's not a one size fits all. All right, not a one size fits all. You want to create you want to show your plan and see how you're doing. And the important thing here is the notes. The important thing here is the notes. All right. Keep notes. I even color code trades. Okay, and I'm going to show you. Record your trades. Now, not just recording them, but you have to analyze them. See how long each trade took. Were the setups respected? Did you enter with confidence or just kind of, well, the market's open, I'm going to jump into it because I can. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? That's not one of my famous models. I got to write that down. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Hmm. Oh, I got to remember that. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay. Do you let your guard down with ladder trades of the day? Easy to do. I mean, you keep going into the trades. Like I don't like to trade in the afternoon because I find that if you're in a bad trade in the afternoon, that 4 o'clock bell comes up real fast. I don't want to be in a trade overnight if I don't have to be. Check your emotions. Were you greedy? Is that why you got into that last trade? That's what I did the other day. Yeah, well, no, I'm just gonna get this one more. I'm just gonna get this one more. Ramp it up over the top, right? Fear, right? Did you exit out of fear? Well, maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. FOMO, fear of missing out. That's what FOMO means. Fear of missing out. You feel like you're at a party and everybody's there having a good time. You're on the outside looking in. That's what FOMO is, right? So you jump in. You don't want to miss out. And then here's YOLO. I like this one. YOLO. You only live once. All right, the market's going to go up or down. I'm going to take my chances, roll the dice. I'm going to put it all in. All right, here we go. We're going to the upside. Oh, then it goes down and you lose. You're out of the game. Wrong reason to get into trades. YOLO, you only live once. And ego. Ego's the big one, right? Ego's the big one. Oh, I'm not going to let the market take me out. I know better. And oh my gosh, you think about it, we traders, right? Let's face it, many of us have big egos. We we feel that, we are in command, right? We are going to dictate what the market's going to give us, and we're going to do well and everything else. And yet, the market is the great humbler. The market will humble the staunchest, the most arrogant of any of us, and you'll never escape it. So you have to respect the market. Respect the market. Just take what it gives you, rinse and repeat. This is what I mean by a spreadsheet, a trading log, or a trading plan. This is just a small sample. And here's the date. I got the date on the side here. What trade number? I just throw this out there. Say starting capital $1,500. If I'm looking to make 5%, I'm just looking to get $75 on a trade. Really, that's it. Trust me, that's not hard to do that. It really isn't. There's your ending capital. This is your budget. And then you write down here your actual net proceeds. Well, how much did I make? Well, I made $90, 62, 69, 85. I mean, these are just sample size. Oh, I lost 40, I lost 36. I made 76, 72. So you just write down, and then the year to date balance and see how that compares to your ending capital budget, right? And if you're over, like here, 1950 is the budget, but I'm over 2000. I got 2025 here. Well, that's pretty good. I'm $75 over. I can relax a little bit. So let's say I want to trade and start with, say, $5,000 and make $50,000 a year. Essentially, all I need is $200 a day profit, which is really easy to get. And I should have my $50,000 a year in profit, right? And what will happen is you'll start making some pretty good money, and your capital is going to increase. So you're going to put more money into it. So instead of making $200, you're going to, aim for 300, 400, $500 later on. Might even want to start with, say, 75 or $100 at the beginning. But anyway, here's the important parts here. The notes. Keep notes of things here. Oh, why did I only make $62? I entered at the wrong time. Here, minus 40, I got greedy. Minus 36, I lost control of the trade. Got in without all the indicators on or whatever. Follow the rules, right? Make notes and then you go back. Now, here's the cool thing about this strategy, about this spreadsheet. I also put in these colors. If I did great, I'll put in a green, right? Just a green block. If I had some challenges, like so normally I would maybe just leave it white, but if I had some challenges, I might just put in a yellow. And if I really, really screwed up or had to repair the trade or anxiety and kept it overnight or whatever, I'll put in red blocks. Red blocks. So in your studies, if you go back, you'll oftentimes see that there'll be a series of yellow blocks before you see red blocks. In other words, something is changing, whether it's your perception of the market or the market itself, or your, your emotional stability or whatever, you can go back and see, oh, I had some struggles. I had some struggles. And then you have a bad trade. So you'll often see the struggles leading up before you get a bad trade. I kind of take this from the aviation world. Okay, as a pilot, we go through a lot of aviation studies and different things, and most often, whenever there's an accident, an airplane crash or something, it's not one thing that had caused the accident. It's a series of events or situations that had caused it. It could have been pilot fatigue, and in doing so, neglected to check the fuel, see that there's enough. neglected to do the flight planning properly, neglected to maybe, in flight, whatever. But you'll find that there's a series of events that lead to a crash. It's not just one thing, as most of the time. Most of the time. I mean, if a bird strikes your engine and flames out both your jet engines and you got no choice but to land on the Hudson, well, that's a different story. But this what I'm saying here is if you look at this and you have a lot of yellows on your spreadsheet, you might want to kind of think, go back and see, okay, too many challenges here. Something's going a little amiss. Did the market change? Do I need a refresher on something? Go back and check it out. Okay, and I think that's really important. Folks, we have a lot of actionable plans here, and these are all available exclusively on DayTradeSPY. I have these QR codes, but don't worry if you can't get them on time because at the end of the session, I will bring them up on the board here and keep them up there for about 3 minutes. But I want to tell you about our inner circle. Every morning around 9 o'clock, you're going to get our morning market analysis, normally done by John. I'll be doing it tomorrow. I'm very brief, but he's a little more comprehensive. What he does is he takes, and so do I, we take all the inputs, all the various data feeds that we look at, the news items, Twitter feeds, sorry, X, whatever, and we look and we make a determination. Is the market likely going to go up today or down? We have no clue where it's going to be a week or a month or a year from now, but we got a pretty good idea where it's going to go today. You'll also get a follow-up report later in the day as to what we actually did, and you'll be invited to our Wednesday night interactive meetups. These are also recorded for later review. So if you can't make it, not a problem. You'll get the recording right after it is done. Concise, informative, everything you need in one report. Let us do the heavy lifting so you don't have to. With all the information that you get every morning on this, you could probably spend about 2 hours finding it yourself. And you don't even know if you found everything you need, right? And that's the really good thing about this because this actually puts it all together. And well, maybe I missed something, or maybe I overlooked this, or the importance of that other news item. But we put it all together in a reusable format that, you're going to actually take it and say, oh, okay, I see what's going on. Folks, the price of the inner circle is only $299 a year, which amounts to about less than $6 a week. Are you kidding me? You can't even buy a cup of coffee for that. Everybody should be in on the inner circle, even if you only use it once or twice a week. All right. Next up, the day trade spy signal. People said, Hugh, I don't have the time to sit in the trading room all morning, but I'm walking around. I got my job. I got my cell phone with me. Do you have something? I said, yeah, we got a signal. 3 to 5 times a week, you're going to get the signal. It's algorithm based, sent to your email and cell phone as a text message. Immediately buy it, put it up for sale for 5% profit target. If not sold by the end of the day, sell it at the market close. Price of this $14.95 a year or $3.99 a quarter. An excellent tool. And again, if you're say taking the kids to school and you get the text on your cell phone, pull over to the side, make the trade, pull up your platform, make the trade, get in, get it for sale, and you'll often see this hit the profit target very quickly. We also have the pick of the day. Now, this is a little bit different. This is the daily pick determined by John and myself every morning. So we handpick this. It's not algorithm based, it's handpicked. And we send this out around 9 o'clock, a little after 9 o'clock every morning. Now, there may be days when the pick is a no pick, no trade. And don't be alarmed because that just means that we are probably saving your capital on that one, right? Maybe the volatility is out of this world high, and so are the options, and we're trying to save your backside with that one. But you'll get the report every morning just after 9 o'clock, and this looks to buy at the market open right at 9:30. Put up for sale for 6% profit target. If not sold by 4 o'clock, sell it at market close. This too is only $3.99 a quarter or $14.95 a year. Okay. All right. Next up, our famous trading room, world famous, internationally highly acclaimed trading room, hosted by John and myself. Interactive. Yes, you will be able to reach out to us through the questions box. Learn and earn. Fully narrated. This is where our strategies come alive. Okay. and you will see the we use Thinkorswim, Schwab Thinkorswim. We show you our charts right up on the screen right here. You can follow along. We fully narrate all of our trades daily, 9:20 to 10:30. This is not one of those drop-in centers, right? That's open all day and you can kind of come and go as you want, and whoever happens to be in front of the microphone has control of the room. That's not the way this works. These are events, live events. They take place at 9:20. We get together, we discuss the news of the day and the events that are going to shape the market. Then at 9:30 with the opening bell, we look to get our setups, get in some trades, get into another one. We use our strategies, our different strategies, bread and butter strategy, our OMG, short for out of the morning gate, the various strategies, and John and I discuss the setups and whatnot. All right. Also, this here is very well priced, 24 at 95 a year, or if you want to pay quarterly, only 6.99 a quarter, which amounts to roughly 6-inch subway, half of half a sub. All right, for one of us, not even both of us. So one of us gets to eat that day, folks. Believe me, this is way underpriced. Now I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. Okay, so we have business consultants. Okay, these are the guys that come. These are the guys with the MBAs and degrees and stuff. Hmm. They're the hot shots, right? They're the big cheeses. They're the guys that know business, and they'll come in and they'll say, "Oh, John Eagle, Roger, you guys are grossly undervaluing the service you have. This is a bargain at 5 times, 10 times the price. It's a bargain. It's a bargain. You need to charge a lot more. You need to charge more because you have value here, true value. They make this money up in no time at all, and you'll be more respected and whatnot. So, but the people at Eagle said, no, we're going to keep it at this. So, but I'm going to tell you, they are. I'm hearing. Let's put it this way. I'm hearing chatter that they may raise the rates. All right. So what I highly recommend is get in there. All right. Purchase, these subscriptions. And I believe, even if they raise the prices, I'm not sure, don't quote me, but I believe they will grandfather you any of these prices. So it's really a great deal. I'm not kidding. You have the benefit in the trading room of two professional expert traders, John and myself. That's what we do. It's not like we have another job somewhere. John doesn't practice law, and then he does this on the side. No, no. This is what he does, and this is what I do. All right. So again, if you know what calls and puts are, this is where you need to be. All right. You don't need to be an expert trader. We teach you. We teach everything in the trading room. And here's the beauty of what we do, folks. You're going to absolutely fall off your chair. All our programs offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, this too can change in the near future because I know there's some talk about, that's a long time. Maybe we should get a 7 or maybe 14-day money-back guarantee, not 30 days. That's too long. So what I'm suggesting is buy now, lock in your 30-day money-back guarantee, lock in your price so that when these things change, you are locked in. And I think that's really a wise thing to do. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't tell you if it wasn't. Okay, I wouldn't tell you if it wasn't. All right, so let's get into some questions. I know you've been waiting all the time. I don't want to keep you all night here. Still holding some calls for this coming Friday. I can't be the only one, or am I? No, Daniel, you're not. I'm sure you're not the only one. Anybody holding calls for next Friday? Okay, now I bailed out of those because I just lost confidence in what's going on. So I don't know what's going on. But I also know that there's a lot of volatility, a lot of ups and downs. And I was traveling. I just didn't, I thought I'm going to take the hit. I'm not going to worry about it. I just don't want to worry about it over the weekend. Now, I don't know where the market's going to go tomorrow or Tuesday, and I don't have the program pulled up. But let's put it this way. What I would do there, guys, holding calls, see where it goes Monday and Tuesday. If you're still in them, you might want to bail out or fix the trades by say Wednesday, Thursday. You don't want to be in these things by Friday. You want to be out of them by Friday. All right. Okay, next trade. Next question. Mitzi Q's with the 6% daily morning trade on the loss. Or that's a question here. What is a typical percent loss? What was invested that day? With the 6% daily morning trade on the loss. What was the percentage lost? Okay, so if we close at the end of the day, that loss could be anywhere from a little to a lot. I don't have a number on that. Now, I will say this, those people in the trading room often will hold overnight. And I had this happen, I think, last week or the week before, where even though we recorded a loss, the people in the trading room held on because they had a very good inkling the market was going to go back in their direction, which it did. And I remember on that next Monday morning with all the comments in the trading room saying that they held on and they made a ton of money. They made a ton of money. So if you are in the trading room, you will understand what we do, and you would have the confidence to maybe stay with it and not close. But we have to, for the purposes of our recording, we have to record what it sold for, would have sold for at the end of the day. All right. Question with the close on Friday. SPX, which is the basket of the top 500 stocks, broke through a support level held since December 17th. Do you think we're headed into a bearish week? We may head into a bearish week. I don't know. A lot depends on the war and what happens there. I noticed that whatever happens to oil has a very amplified effect on the market. Now, if the price of oil does go down because they're getting ships through the Strait of Hormuz, then I think then we're going to see oil price go down and SPY skyrocket. Um, and I think they're really focused on that Strait of Hormuz. I think there's going to be a lot of activity around there. It's a very I think it's the narrowest. It's only like what 26 miles or something, 30 miles or something. So you get all these ships, right? All these ships going through that, and they are being I don't know, blocked or whatever. But I think if we can get in there and give them a safeguard of passage through there, you're going to see, you're going to see some moves. By the way, folks, it is 8:58. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick a number between one, and I'm going to go back to the questions, right? But I want you to pick a number between 1 and 100. And for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to just let it ride let me see what else I need a pen is what I need here. Hang on a second. Let me just reach over here and grab a pen. For some reason, I don't have a pen. Bear with me here, folks. I need to get a pen here. That's what happens when you're not totally set up here, right? Okay, I got a pen. Right, here we go. So I can write down the names. All right, here we go. Okay, so pick a number between 1 and 100. Put it up in the questions box. All right. And I'm going to give you a couple minutes here, to maybe about a minute. I'm going to go back to get some more questions here. Okay, so this is let's go back to questions. Again, I apologize, no video on me because I don't have a camera on this thing here, but it is what it is, right? Anyway, what was I going to say here? The winner gets the ebook Triumphs and Tragedies. Okay, after we pick our random number generator. We have our exclusive DayTradeSPY random number generator, which I will pull up in a minute. So let's get some more questions here. Right, yeah. It's all about China. And here's the other thing with oil, right? It's not just the Strait of Hormuz. I think we only get like maybe 3% of the oil from there or something, not a lot. But it affects world oil prices, right? Um, China's cheap oil supply, you got China, Russia, you got all kinds of things going on here. So we're very intertwined with the whole world when it comes to energy. Maybe, I mean, I think we're a net exporter now of energy, so I don't see why it should affect us at all in that regard, but it still, reflects on the price of energy and oil. And I think prices might have gone up a little bit here at the gas pumps, but I don't think it's going to be a long-lived thing. I can't see this thing lasting too long here. Right. Robert says war is easy to get into and hard to end. True. Yeah. Um, do you expect that with the volatility, will there will not be a pick of the day tomorrow? We will see, and what we'll do there is probably what we started doing was putting a condition in on the pick. So, for example, if the volatility is really high, the pick is a no pick. But we've also attached a condition that says something like if the implied volatility drops to X percent or whatever by 9:35, then here's the pick, right? Then only get into the pick if the IV, implied volatility, drops to whatever the number is. So we may pull out something like that. We want to give you a pick. We don't want to give you a pick that's gonna throw your numbers off crazy, and getting at the beginning at 9:30, and you're paying $8, $9 for an option. Then they suck the volatility out of it. Now it's fallen down to $5 or $6. Now you're stuck holding the bag. We don't want that to happen. So, all right, another question here. If you're trading 5 contracts, how much would that be invested in each trade approximately? Okay, well, let's go back to that for a second here. Let's go back to that chart. That is this one here, right? This one here. Where did I go? Where did I go? This one here. Okay, so if you are investing in these options 5 contracts at a time, because these options are very expensive. Look at that. These options are $9, $10, $8, $9. 5 contracts, you're investing about $4,000. Some cases about 5,000. All right. But don't worry about it because you're going to get it all with the proceeds, right? When you sell it, you're going to get more than what you paid for it. Okay. So you're going to get some gains here. Now, if you want to go back, if it's too rich for you, maybe 2, 3 contracts, 1 contract, even, I'll be honest with you, if you're doing 1 contract, you're not going to get a whole lot of money, maybe coffee money or something. But the idea is not so much how much you pay for because you're also going to get it all back, but it's to see what kind of volatility and you'll see what happens. Now, you'll often see that a lot of these buy and sell times are very tight, right? Here's one, 7 minutes. Here's one, well, this is about 23 minutes. Here's a 1 minute trade, 9:30 in, 9:31 out. Well, this is kind of screwy here. 10:07 in, 9:57 out. I think that's kind of a messed up thing. Probably should be reversed here. You'll often see um, some of these trades 10 o'clock in, 10:01 out, 10:13 in, 10:15 out, 10:21 in, 10:23 out. This is Friday. So the market's moving very fast, right? Market's moving very fast. If you'd have invested 5 contracts, you'd have been in and out of this thing in no time at all. Picked up 140, right? Another $100, another $70. You'd have had yourself over there. What is that? 223. What's that? About 320 or something? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, $320 and no time at all. So this is what it is. When you get this volatility and the market's really moving like crazy, you can make a lot of money in just a short period of time. All right, next question here. Send me a picture of your cat. Say hi to Dale and okay. Ah, well, I don't know if I have a picture of my cat there, Phil. I'll take a look and see, and not really sure. But anyway, let's see. Okay, Jeff D. All right. Wow. Congratulations, Jeff. In the last 11 trading days, I made $9,666, averaging $878 per day. The lowest day was $111. The highest day was 1344. Okay. All right. So here's what happens, right? After a hot winning streak, I often experience a slump, a couple of bad trades with big losses. I'm thinking that after a winning streak matures, I should just reduce risk, right? Trade with less money, go for smaller gains, or even take a break from trading for a few days. Hard to do. Trading is addictive. 100% it is. Not just the money, but the feeling you get from winning trades. So this is what you're experiencing, Jeff. I get the same experience. You get a series of winning trades, man, you are hot. You're on your game, right? You can do no wrong. You've mastered it, right? This is like this is like taking candy from a baby, right? And you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, bang, bang, bang. And I don't know what happens, whether you just get a little too cocky, overconfident, whatever. The market changes, you miss something, who knows? But suddenly, oh, bad trade. Oh, it's not good. And that's what happened to me on Thursday. It's exactly what happened to me. I had all these good trades. And by the way, I've traded other trades that not just what I show in the trading room, but I had a series of great trades. I don't even know how much money I made, a lot. But all of a sudden I get in a bad trade. Like, oh, wait a second. I'm not, now I have to, now I got a plane to catch and I'm in a trade. Well, this is kind of crazy. So I stayed in that trade overnight and the market went down the next day. So you know what? I am down 50% on this trade. I'm bailing out. I don't like where this is going because I still have a lot of money left that I can trade with. Because if the market turns on me on Monday, oh my gosh, I'm holding the bag. I got to nurse this up, and I got to we'll see where it goes. I paid $8.06 for these options, and I'm getting $3.62, whatever. Like it's not good, right? So I totally agree with you, Jeff. 100% plus. After a nice winning streak, take a breath. Take a breath, relax a couple days. Go back and make sure you have all your I's, dotted, T's crossed. Make sure but you're 100%, it is a totally addicted. I'm addicted. I'll tell you, I'm addicted and I don't feel bad about it. It's a, it's a good addiction. I like it. And yeah, I think there's an adrenaline rush on that here. Okay. March 2nd and 3rd results are missing. I have them. I probably just didn't put it. Oh, you know what I did? I just didn't put them on on the board here, Larry. He says that for the week's chart, I'm missing the March 2nd and 3rd results. Let me just see if I have those handy. Let me see. Take a look at these here. Give me half a second. I can bring you those results as well. Downloads. Okay, March the 6th. If I can pull that up, bear with me for about another few seconds as it's loading. It's loading. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is where it all started, folks. I'm gonna go up to where it started. All the loss, everything is. We started this January the 5th. So here's all our trades. January the 5th. You can see there's a lot of them. Where do we start? On line 6, right? We started here February. Let's go down here. March. Here's March 2nd and 3rd. Oh my gosh, how many trades we did? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 trades between March the 2nd and 3rd. You can see what we had there. So we had a loss there, 12.25. I'm probably the one with the most losses because I get more and more aggressive with things. And there's my big loss of the week, $2,080. There's a small loss there. But by and large, we're doing okay. Had a couple bad losses there, both mine. Okay. But even with that, we're still ahead of the game, 69.10. So if I did not show those on the PowerPoint, it's just that I did not show them, but there they are right there. All right. So if you want to go back and get the screenshot on that, it's yours. All right. Let's see any other quick questions here. And I swore I wasn't gonna do this into after 9 o'clock, but here I am. Okay, we are going to cut it off. No more. All right, no more numbers. I'm going to pull up the random number generator. Okay, so another couple of questions real quick here. On the Inner Circle afternoon email, are the times of you and John's trades Eastern time zone? Yes, we are on Eastern time zone. And yeah, the time change last night kind of messed things up a little bit for me anyway. All right. Okay. All right. So let's pull up our random number generator. This is our official DayTradeSPY random number generator. Okay, here we go. Just take a look here. Make sure I get this all done here. Okay, this is it right here. Okay. All right. This number you see here, folks, is not the number. That's not the number. That's last week's number. Okay. That is not the number. Okay, Rod T, you are okay, 66. That's the final number. No more numbers after Rod, okay? Just want to check that. No more. Okay, Timothy F. Timothy F at 60. Okay, that's it. Cut off. No more numbers. Now I'm going to spin the wheel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The number is 9. The closest to 9 gets the ebook, Triumphs and Tragedies. Closest to 9 gets the ebook 9. Okay, let me go back real quick. Just scan the answers here. Closest to 9. Kent is at 17, as is Daniel G. So 17. We've got Peter at 11. Okay, Peter at 11. Mark R is at a 10. Mark R is at 10. And the winner is Mark R at 10. Congratulations, Mark. Mark R at 10. I will get you that ebook shortly. Wow, that's great. That's very good. Okay, folks, with that, what else do we have? There's our random number contest, Triumphs and Tragedies. And who did we say the winner was at 10? That was, let me get the name down here. Oh my gosh, did I forget already? Was it Randy? Hang on a second. I gotta just get this name down here before I forget. I gotta write it down here. Uh, oh, for goodness sakes, did I lose it already? Mark R. Okay. Okay, Mark R. Okay, I got the winner. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us here. It's been a real pleasure. And this here is these are the QR codes for the various subscriptions. Please consider, if you're not already a member, subscribe. That's where the action is, folks. All right. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you the next time.
Just shout it loud and clear. I wanna know if you really need it. And if you do, then just shout it loud and clear. I know it's been on your mind for a while, but to get what you really want can take some time. You gotta be focused now, don't play around, and trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have it if you dream it. Just be brave and you'll achieve it all. It all. I wanna know if you really want it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear. I wanna know if you really need it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear. And there ain't no stopping now. You're the one. Shine brighter than the moon and the sun. Be great at what you do. Give it all of you. And trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can